Sometimes we're walking through the apocalyptic ashram, right? And you come up on complete chaos, right? I mean, like there's the ooh bucket, um, and that's a poo hole, right? So, but it looks like complete chaos here because these are probably rocks that were found when somebody was digging that hole. But these rocks are just cast about, and these rocks are all energy, right? And right now, they're in the energy of chaos, right? Because it's just there, but it doesn't share anything productive that I can see, right? And so what we do here is, um, I won't be able to. I don't have a tripod with me right now, so I can't show you from multiple angles or like all these YouTubers are doing such fantastic jobs at. So I'm gonna do the best that I can with what I got, where I'm at, and I'm gonna take and I'm gonna move these things to how I think they should be. All right, I'm gonna gather up my resources. What do I have to work with here? Right, and I see what's trying to be done here. And if I see what's trying to be done here, at the apocalyptic Ostrom Hoxhaven, right, the um, I can work in a common goal with other people, right? And if this is the environment that I've made that I'm like dwelling in, I'm spending my time. I want to make it how I like it, right? And so I'm gonna I'm gonna recognize that there's a waterway here that needs to probably be maintained and respected, right? And there's um, a common theme with kind of in the areas of transition to have them nice and clean, have them your border maintained. That's the thing though. We're enforcing global borders or like borders on land on unoccupied territory, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of area that's not being used, but we're um, but we're not enforcing a healthy personal boundary. Because I mean, a healthy personal boundary makes sure that you just don't really have problems with anything else, right? Because the first law in the world, right, in this natural world, is free will. Because if I own me and you own you, and we're working together here voluntarily, because right, because anything else would be slavery. I mean, if I'm forcing you to do my ideas, that is some psychotic, happenings, right? So let's stop doing that. Um, but but if I have a good idea and you're willing to listen to it, um, and you agree with that it's a good idea. I mean, it's not just that it's my idea that makes it a good idea. It needs to actually make sense, right? It needs to work, or it needs to be something worth spending time and energy towards, right? And so, but yeah, so that, I mean but that's the basis of a very um, scary idea for a lot of people, is the idea that they need to be self-responsible, meaning that I can't be doing something just because somebody somewhere said so, right? I mean, if I'm not allowed to put my hands on you and um, and put you in a cage and beat you up and steal your money, then um, is it logical that that I'd be able to hire somebody to do that for me, right? And what if me and a bunch of friends, we invented something called government, and we said, hey, we're the people over here representing you. You can vote for a new one every so often, but it'll be of our friends that you can vote from, that you get to choose from, right? You'd be like, whoa, hold on, that sounds like an oligarchy, or um, even if the oligarchy has different names, It's still one energy, one presence that's uh, making the rules and enforcing them violently on people who haven't harmed anyone. Right? I mean, because it's not that I don't believe in violence. I mean, obviously it happens, right? So we have to believe in violence. The thing is what violence is the violence is the initiation of force, right? From my understanding. Whereas, force is what's required to overcome the attempt of control. But luckily, we live in this free will experience that we don't really have to use force because, I mean, like 99% of us are cool people. I mean, God, I meet friends everywhere I go. Just because I don't see them as a, a Republican or a Democrat or a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Catholic or I don't see people in that way. I look at you as, hey, I bet you know things that I don't know, and maybe you're interesting to talk with. And where do you live? Where have you lived? I mean, because I've lived all over the planet, but I haven't lived everywhere, right? I mean, I'm not quite as cool as Johnny Cash, it seems, but and there's so many more places that I'd like to go. But like right now, I'm working here at the Apocalyptic Ashram, Foxhaven. We're building a model and an educational platform of how, when many people come together, we can make light work, right? And when we each do a little bit towards what matters every day, and uh, we do it in a way that it builds health and happiness and peace and abundance. Man, I suck at this videography stuff. So anyway, um, health, happiness, peace, and abundance for the individuals, right? We can turn chaos into an order that might make you happy, right? And then when you're tuned in to creating things, you might find other things to be grateful for and to be excited to create in all sorts of beautiful ways, right? Because the world is full of resources that are just they're being scavenged for what money can be made off of it, and then they're being thrown into a landfill to ensure that you have to buy it again, right? And there's areas still of chaos here, right? Because life happens and holes need to be dug, and so rocks get thrown, and just like in our society, right? There's problems in our society. There's enough parks and streets that have been polished up that people are accepting of the current paradigm of how things are happening. But the thing is just because something is being hidden doesn't mean that it's no longer a problem, right? We can't just sweep the problems underneath the doorstep or into the alleys or push the encampments around town and pick up the dead bodies, right? That's because this fentanyl epidemic is killing a lot of people. A lot of people. I mean, it's being talked about a little bit because it can't be ignored, right? And some people say, oh, well, it's just getting the people off the streets that didn't need to be off the streets. And that is absolutely an apathetical statement, because that too is God's child, right? And that child of God is suffering, and that's why they're looking to escape their reality. There's either a trauma or an experience that they haven't learned how to deal with, because our schools only teach you about algebra and things that you may never use, but fail to teach emotional maturity, fail to teach personal responsibility and accountability, standing up for yourself, being a creator of your experience rather than a consumer intended for the masses. What I've done here with the apocalyptic ashram is taking desert wasteland and turning it into an oasis of sorts, right? I mean, it's getting there. Sometimes things don't happen right away. They don't happen as soon as you snap your fingers, unless maybe you have a million people willing to respond to the snap of a finger of a good idea, right? That's what we need. We need people who are actors in this world, who are creators, who are willing to do what is right all of the time. We have to do what's right. For too long, we've been shown that greed is real and it is known. You know, the apocalypse isn't an ending. It's just a beginning created by understanding and focusing on what you want rather than what's been presented so far.